Let's open a bro pack. Bruh. Alright, let us get all this garbage out of the way. Alright, so hello folks. I'm going to be opening a box of Brothers War collector boosters given to me by Anime Imports in Pacifica. It's my friendly local game store. I love them. They're super cool. And they were like, hey, you like opening packs? You want to open packs for us? And I'm like, I would love to open packs. Because opening packs is basically one of my favorite things to do. So let's open up some Brothers War and see what happens. Brothers War is such a cool card. Alright, so Deadly Riposte. Now I'm going to have to sit and read these because I have to remember what they did. Deadly Riposte deals 3 damage to target tapped creature and you gain 2 life. I mean, white cards that kill tapped creatures is a classic. Excavation Explosion deals 3 damage to a target and you get a tapped Power Stone. Man, I love the Power Stone mechanic. I think that was so much fun and such a cool thing to do. Stern Lesson. Draw 2 cards, discard a card, create a tapped Power Stone token. Yeah, as you can see, there's lots of just Power Stones. Giant Growth. They reprinted it because this is a throwback to Alpha times. Great Desert Prospector. When it enters, you make a Power Stone token for each other creature you control. I needed this for a deck, and it's a weird misprint off-center card. That's cool. Huh. Because, like, I was playing a deck that cared about having a lot of artifacts in play, and that card's pretty sick. Audacity. Enchantment gives +2/+0 and trample, and then it comes back. When it goes to the graveyard, you get to draw a card. This is kind of like its version of, what the hell is the enchantment from the 1 mana +2/+0 enchantment that comes back to your hand when it breaks from the olden days. It's like a fist with a green thing. I use it in all my decks. Whatever it is. Rancor, thank you. Also, another just like off-center card. Cool. It's a forest. It's a brushland. They reprinted the Painlands in this set. I forgot. And getting a foil brushland is kind of sick. Oh, but what about a full art brushland to go with it? That's also cool. Urza's Workshop. This was the commander card from the set. Each of these collector boosties had commander cards in them. Urza's Workshop is an Urza land that gives you extra mana for each Urza land you have in play, which is really, really cool. I thought this was really neat. Pristine Talisman. Foil Pristine Talisman. Love it. You know, I use that card a lot. Sigil of Valor. It's like good pseudo exalt. Psychosis Crawler. Okay, this card actually rules. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards you have in hand, and then whenever you draw a card, opponent loses a life. I have thought very heavily about putting this into my Council of 4 deck, but it would be really mean, and so I haven't. Oh, they had the Transformers cards in this set, so I guess I opened a Megatron foil. That's cool. I didn't even remember that these guys were in here. Megatron Tyrant. A friend of mine has a Megatron deck that completely wrecks my face. It is so good because she just uses it to sacrifice a ton of artifacts to do unbelievable amount of damage to people. Because whenever Megatron attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact. When you do, Megatron deals damage equal to the sacked artifact creatures, equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to target creature. If excess damage would be dealt that way to that creature, instead the damage is dealt to that creature's controller, and you convert Megatron back into its other thing. This card is absurd. It is absolutely ridiculous. And then the last card is Fateful Handoff. Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control, and then give that thing to somebody else. That's kind of sick. And a Power Stone. Neat. Let's see what else there is. Tomical Honor Guard. A 3/1 with Ward 2. Sure, I'll play it. Yoshin Medic. 1/4 with lifelink. Thank you, Yoshin Soldier, for all your hard work in the olden days. Latnam Adept. Draw your second card, put a 1/1 counter on it. This card's great in my other deck as well. Recommission. Return target artifact creature with mana value 3 or less from graveyard to the battlefield, and then you get to put a counter on it. Yeah, I love that card in this format. Demolition Field is a really fantastic land destruction card. 2 and tap, sack it to destroy target non-basic, and then they get a basic land, and then you also get a basic. I prefer some of the other ones, but the Demolition Field is one I've used quite a bit. Loran, Disciple of History. This is not the right Loran, but it's a good card. Island. Thran Spider. When it comes to play, you and an opponent make a Power Stone, and you look at the top 4 cards of your library and put an artifact into your hand. Fine. It does a thing. Razor Lash Transmogrant. This was one of those colorless cards that was actually secretly colored because you can bring it back from the graveyard. It's really cool. Machine God's Effigy, the commander card from the set. It is basically a mono rock that clones things and turns it into. Yeah, it's a mono rock that basically clones things and also lets those creatures tap for a blue, which is cool. Swifties, foil Swifties. Ooh, that's really sick. Ornithopter, greatest card of all time. Goblin Charbelcher just won the Modern Pro Tour. Love this card. And now somehow the broken glass version of the Megatron Tyrant deck. So now I have 2 Mega Tyrants. That's kind of sick. Well of Lost Dreams. When you gain life, you can pay X and then draw X cards. Nobody in history has ever used this card. Hello, Ice Prophet. Thank you for joining me. I had a face cam and then I think I broke it, so I don't have a face cam. But yes, I am opening Brothers War boosters from Anime Imports that gave me this box to crack open. And it's kind of fun. No, so the normal Megatron is foil. The glass Megatron is not foil. Let's see. Hoarding Recluse. Reach and Death Touch 2/3. When it dies, you can regrow something. Or you put one other target card from a graveyard onto the bottom of its owner's library. This isn't about regrowing. This is more about stopping other people from regrowing their stuff. Weak Zone Subjugation. Yeah, it's like the blue tap your thing down. Power Stone Engineer. I love this card in limited. Stone Retrieval Unit. Again, another card I just absolutely love this. The Brothers War limited format was so much fun. Slagstone Refinery. When this or another non-token artifact is put into graveyard from battlefield, or put into the exile from battlefield, you make a tap Power Stone. That's actually really sick. Especially if you're playing like artifacts where you recycle your artifacts a lot. Let's see. Alloy Animist. 2 and a green until end of turn. Target non-token artifact creature you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature. I won a lot of games with this card. Yeah, that card is sick. Swamp. It's a swamp. Transmogrant Crown. Hey, what happens if we try to fix Skull Clamp? Get a card that nobody wants to play. Autonomous Assembler. This thing is sick because it makes all your assembly workers stronger. And there was a whole sub-format in this about assembly workers. Wreck Hunter. This is the commander card. When it enters the battlefield, choose target player. You create a tapped Power Stone for each non-land in their graveyard that was put there this turn. So you basically play this after a Wrath, and you get a whole ton of Power Stones. It's kind of neat. A Foily Millstone. An Ichor Wellspring all-timer. Very classic card. Door to Nothingness. A card that everybody has tried for a long time to get to work, and someday someone will. Another Transformers card. Flame War. Brash Veteran. But not a foil, so it's fine. A foil Maze Mind's Tomb. I love this card. And a treasure. Yeah, the Shattered Glass foils are nutter butters. They are very, very expensive cards. The Transformers cards designs were actually really, really cool. Like, I liked them a lot, and I thought they were done really well. Slicer, of course, becoming like the all-timer out of that set. Military Discipline. It's a flash card that gives something first strike, so it's like a combat trick. Wing Commando. I played that in high school. Disfigure. Disfigure is all-timer. Scrapwork Mint. The Scrapwork Mutt is actually this card was really really good in the limited format as well in the red deck because it's you can unearth it and bring it back and you can draw more cards and get more value out of it. Arms Race. You get to basically sneak attack an artifact into play. Gruesome Realization. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, or kill your opponent's creatures. This card did not work quite as well as I wanted it to work, but it was cool nonetheless. The basics in this set are so good. There's a card. Foiled Myrel. Let's go. Let's go. Ryan Pankos absolutely killing it with this art. And frankly, a creature that makes 1 billion soldiers. How is this not going to be one of my favorite creatures? This is my favorite card in the set. Easy peasy. Surge Engine. This was like a blue artifact version of the all of those stupid hero cards that let you pump mana into it to turn it into a thing. Like you can pay a number of mana to make this into a much bigger creature and draw some extra cards. It's really fun and limited. Thopter Shop. Once you thop, you just can't stop. Whenever one or more artifact creature you control die, draw a card. And then for 2 and a white, create a 1/1 Thopter with flying. I love this card. Love this card. Figure of Destiny, thank you. I was thinking I'm like Hero of Bladehold? No, that's not it. But there's also all of the Figure of Destiny likes that they've come into play. A Foily Chromatic Star, very good in other places. Sigil of Valor. Cloud Key. This card is great for making discounts of whatever you want to discount. But every time I think about playing it, I'm like, I could be playing something cooler. Soundwave, Broken Glass version, not a foil, but still cool. Soundwave is sick. Steel Seraph, shout out to my boy Logan. This card lets you get Flying Vigilance or Lifelink until end of turn. I love this card. Very, very sick. Man, there's so many artifacts in this set. Hello, all the people who've joined us today. Thank you so much. I'm opening Brothers War from Anime Imports, my local game store at animeimports.net. Scrapwork Rager. This thing draws a card, loses a life, and you can unearth it to do the same. It's fine. I played it. Ambush Paratrooper. Flash Flying, but it had a 5 mana cost, which seems expensive until you realize you can pay for it with Power Stones. Killzone Acrobat. When it attacks, you can sack another creature or artifact. If you do, it gains flying. Yeah, whatever. Perimeter Patrol. When an artifact enters battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. This thing is how I won so many games because it gets so big. Splitting the Power Stones. Sack an artifact, and then you make 2 Power Stones. And if the artifact was legendary, you also draw a card. This card was kind of cool. Obstinate Baloth. If something makes you discard it, you gain 4 life. Good classic reprint from the olden days. Mountain. Liberation Urza's Battle Thopter. A legendary Thopter that just is a horrifying looking flash machine that comes into play. And when you cast a spell, you can put a lot of counters on this thing. It's really, really sick. Mishra's Foundry. Not Mishra's Factory, but it still makes it an assembly worker, so that's pretty cool. Disciple of Kalas Nin. This is the commander card in this booster pack. Each player chooses up to 5 permanents they control, and all permanents other than Disciple of Kalas Nin that weren't chosen this way phase out. Permanents can't phase in. So basically, people get to choose 5 cards that they have to keep, and then everything else phases out until this thing goes away. It's really, really fun to just stuff people. Foil Foundry Inspector. All-timer, makes your artifacts cheaper. Unfoil Foundry Inspector. I mean, why have one if you can't have the other? Rama's Dragon Engine. This card is great. One of the first 5-color artifact cards, commanders. It's super, super fun. I don't know, I like it a lot. Jetfire, Ingenious Scientist is the Transformers card in this set. I really want to get a Gen 1 Jetfire because they use the old Macross Veritech models to build the Jetfire. So it's basically just a Macross plane with a different paint job, and I'm still looking for one. Phyrexian Revoker, all-time classic modern card. You name a card and they don't get to do anything with it. Good times. And a Power Stone. How are y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. I have monetized my Twitch now, so if you want to subscribe or give bits, you can. You don't have to. I get it. There's better people to subscribe to than me. Aeronautic Cavalry. Enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on another target soldier you control. Why do you think I loved this set so much? It was all soldiers all the time. Trench Stalker. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Trench Stalker is Death Touch and Lifelink. I feel like that's not going to happen enough to make that card worth playing. Mine Worker. Oh my god, playing the Mine, Power Plant, and Tower Worker deck is one of my favorite limited decks in this format. Rust Goliath, it's a 10/10 Reach Trample or a 3/5 Reach Trample, depending on how much you feel I'm paying for it. Meticulous Excavation, you can return permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it had Unearth, instead exile it, and then return that card to its owner's hand. Return target permanent you control. Oh, because this way you can bounce the unearthed creatures back to your hand, because unearth has a clause that says if it leaves play, it gets exiled. So they're like, we want you to be able to save your unearthed cards. So there you go. Defabricate. I'm going to guess this is about countering artifacts. Yep. Swamp. Tyrant of Courage. Enters battlefield, does 4 points to any damage, and then got fire breathing. You know what? This is an alpha error dragon if I've ever seen one. I love it. Mechanized Warfare. If a red or artifact source you control deals damage, it does that +1. I love these spells. This is like one of my favorite kind of red spell. Farid, Enterprising Scavenger. When another non-token artifact you control is put into the graveyard, you make scrap tokens, and then you can sack artifacts to put counters on this guy, go target creature, or discard and draw. That's really, really sick, actually. Bonesaw is ready, and foil. Springleaf Drum, great way to tap things that you need to get tapped and gain mana. Scrap Trawler, this card in this set is unbelievably good because you can go and do a bunch of loop tricks with it. Here's a foil RC, the Sharpshooter. That's fancy. And the Archbandrite. This guy was meant to be Advisor, Artificer, Monk, Typal deck lord. But I don't know how well it did or if anybody ever played it. And a Power Stone. Let's see what's in the next pack. Thank you all for joining me as I have to open all these packs and just kind of chill and crack packs. I was feeling like these have been building up on my bed for a while, and I'm just like, I need to just clean through. But I've got lots and lots of boxes to open, so it's going to be fun. Dwarven Forge Chanter, Ward, pay 2 life. I love Ward, pay 2 life, but on a 1/3, like, they're never going to target it. Who cares? Survivor of Corliss, you can exile it to scry 2. Yeah, sure. Energy Refractor. It comes to play, draw a card, and then you can filter mana. People always play these cards, and I never understand why. Tonus' Tinkering. It lets you turn artifacts into creatures. Very cool. Or lands, even. Thran Power Suit. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and it has Ward 2. This card absolutely rips. I love this card. I put it into my Furion deck. I put it into my Auras decks. It's incredibly strong and incredibly good in like Voltron type builds. Pyrrhic Blast. Sack a creature as an additional cost, and then it deals damage to its power to any target. Draw a card. I've won many a game with that one. Mountain. Perennial Behemoth. You can play land from your graveyard. It's a 2/7 with Unearth that is basically a walking Crucible World, and there's nothing wrong with that. Diabolic Intent. As additional cost to cast, you can sack your creature and then tutor for a card. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. A demonic tutor that also lets you sack a creature is interesting. Woodcaller Automaton. It's a 3/3 or an 8/8 depending on you cast it. And then you can also make a tree folk. You can make a land into a tree folk that's got its power and toughness when it comes into play. That's kind of sick. Jalem Tome. Draw a card and discard a card. Played this all the time back 100 years ago. Pristine Talisman, we talked about earlier. Adaptive Automaton. When you don't know what creature tribe you're playing, pick one and then you can just pump them all. Another AC Sharpshooter. Thran Spider, we talked about this guy early. And a Power Stone. Man, the artifacts in this, there's so many artifacts. 10 viewers, that's impressive. Thank you all for coming along and just hanging out with me while I just open packs. Sorry, I had a face cam earlier, but I broke it. Gixian Infiltrator. When you sack another permanent, you put a 1/1 counter on it. In this deck, I mean, black-red sacrifice, sure, why not? Let's see. Gnarlroot Pallbearer, 4 green, for a 5/5, and then it enters and gives plus X to target creature, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Yeah, you could win a game with that. Thraxodemon, 3 and tap, sack a creature or artifact, draw a card. Rock Hunter, it's a 3/1 with reach. I've played it because it's a 3/1 with reach. Reconstructed Thopter, yeah. Thopter artifact, when another artifact enters the battlefield, target creature can fly into end of turn, sure. Plains, ooh, that's a cool looking foil Plains. Visions of Phyrexia, fancy looking artwork from Dominic Meyer. It's fine. Ooh, Underground River Painland, full art, love that. March of Progress. Choose target artifact creature you control, and then for each creature chosen this way, create a token copy of it with Overload. So if you have a table full of artifact creatures, you can basically make a copy of all of them. That's pretty sick. Foil Elsewhere Flask. Choose a basic land type. Each land you control becomes that type until end of turn. This is a weird card. Weird card, I get it. So what about a non-foil one? I guess that's fine too. Phyrexian Processor, this is a classic card from the olden days that won Pro Tours. I don't know if people are going to play it the way it is now, but it's nice to see old-timey cards again. Blitzwing Cruel Tormentor. Sure. And then Mind's Eye. This is how white decks used to draw cards. This is all we had. When an opponent draws a card, you pay 1. If you do, draw a card. Not great, but it is what it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Opening a pack. Bitter Reunion. Draw a card. Discard a card, draw 2, and then sack it to give everything haste. I loved this card because it was enchantment, and giving everything haste is a good way to win the game at the end of the game. Clay Revenant. Enters the battlefield tapped, and then you can bring it back from the graveyard to your hand. Yeah, it's fine. Not great. Mishra's Juggernaut. A 5/3 with trample that attacks every turn and can be unearthed. I played the hell out of it because I remember playing Juggernaut, and I love it. Tower Worker. This dude is so good. It taps to add 3 if you got all the other workers. Unbelievably sick. Bushwhack. This is a really sick card I really, really enjoy. You either draw a basic land or you fight a target creature. So it's like 2 different versions of bushwhacking. You're either bushwhacking to go explore or bushwhacking because you're punching people. It makes me happy. Philology Dragon Engine. This guy is cool. It's a 5/5 or a 1/3 with the ability to get fire breathing. I really like the prototype cards. I hope they bring that mechanic back. Plains. Rootwire Amalgam. This one makes golem creatures where X is the 3 times this thing's power. So if you put it out as a 5/5 and pay 5 and sack it, you can make a 15/15 golem with haste. Okay. Sure, why not? Soul Partition. Exile target online permanent, and then its owner can play it with tax of 2. And it's fine. Another Urza's Workshop. Fancy Foil Ornithopter. Chromatic Star. When it goes in the graveyard, you draw a card. Very classic. Rune Chanter's Pike. This card's awesome. Well, it was really good in Innistrad block, at least. I don't know if it's still good. Goldbug, Humanity's Ally. Sure. Ooh, Foil Blackblade Reforged. Love this card. This card is so sick. Chris Ron really just nailed it. Opening another pack. Let's go. Retrieval Agent. Plus, you pay 2 to get +1/-1 until end of turn. Yeah, classic. Scrapwork Cohort. Make a soldier when it comes to play and unearth and makes another soldier. I love that. Coastal Bulwark. It's a 1/3 that wants you to play blue, so it becomes a 3/3. Sentinel Stalwart. Tap an untapped artifact creature to gain mana. These cards are always good, especially when you've got like a lot of like just random tokens sitting around or equipment or whatever. Urza Power Stone Prodigy. Is this really the first Urza we've cracked in this? This card was really, really good and limited. Arbalest Engineers. It deals 1 damage to any target. And it's whatever, it's fine. Island. Teresian Mindbreaker. When it attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded up for a 6/4. That hurts. Perennial Behemoth. We got this one again. Sanwell Avenger Ace. As long as the artifact creature you control is attacking, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Sanwell Avenger Ace. And when it becomes tapped, you exile the top 6 cards of your library. You can cast a vehicle or artifact creature spell from among them, then put the rest of them on the bottom of your library in any order. Huh. That's kind of neat. And if you use this to, like, crew a vehicle, you can still do that. That's cool. Another foil bonesaw. Another Jalem Tome. Unwinding Clock. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. This card rules. It is super combo heavy all the time. Ooh, a foil Goldbug. And a foil Loran of the Third Path, the actual card that we do play, which is, Vigilance, and it comes into play nukes an equipment or artifact, and you can force people to draw cards. I love that card. Especially in my Council of Four, where making you draw cards gets me cards. But yeah, Unwinding Clock is a nasty, nasty card, man. This card is so much fun to play, but it ends games really quickly. Whirling Strike. Target creature is 2/0 and first strike and trample till end of turn. Sure, combat tricks. Acacia's Onulet. When it leaves battlefield, you get 2 life, and it's a 4/4. Onulet was a card from Antiquities block. I'm glad that they gave me a throwback to it. Philology Chain Dancer. It's a 2/4 that can get double strike till end of turn. I like that card a lot. Urza's Rebuff we talked about earlier. Philology Excavation. Create 3 tap power stones and gain 3 life. Yes, please. Hey, look, Monastery Swift Spear. One of the best 1-drops of all time. So sick. Horus. Mishra's Foundry Foil. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. It's a 7/5 Menace Lifelinker with Ward. Pay life equal to its power. And it can either come to play as a 3/3 or a 7/5. This card, disgusting. Ooh, the Root Path Purifier. This is one of the collector booster and set booster only cards. Lands you control and lands in the library are basic. This card rules. I have not found a home for it, but I really, really liked it. Mishra's Bauble, All-Star in Vintage Cube. It's a 0-drop artifact, and it lets you look at other people's libraries or your library and then draw a card. I mean, what's wrong with that? Burnish Heart. This was an EDH All-Star for decades. It might be too slow now, but it does get you 2 basics, and it blocks. Quiet as Spike. I love this. Creature gets Death Touch, and when it does damage to a player, they lose half their life. This is also another classic EDH card. Third Megatron Tyrant. And then Blade Coil Serpent. X and 6 for a 5/4. And when it enters the battlefield, for each blue spent, you draw a card. For each black spent, an opponent discards a card. And for each red spent, it gets +1/+0 and trample and haste until end of turn. That's a lot. This probably ends games. And then a Power Stone. And then the last pack of this Brothers War booster box brought to you by Anime Imports in Pacifica, my home store, Prof's home store, beloved store of many. Moment of Defiance, +2/+1, a lifelink to end of turn, draw a card, combat trick, whatever. Coilless Rock, you get Power Stone when it comes to play. Love Power Stones. Power Stone Fracture. Sack that Power Stone you just got to destroy target creature. Depth Charge Colossus. It doesn't untap during your untap step, but it's a 9/9, so you can untap it for 3. Spotter Thopter. Scry X, where X is its power when it comes into play. So you can pay 8 to get a 4/5 flyer that scries for 4. I don't know if that's good or not. Obliterating Bolt. It exiles a thing, but it does 4 points of damage instead of the 2 or whatever. Island. Urza Prince of Krug. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2, and you can make copies of target artifacts, except it becomes a 1/1 soldier alongside the Howling Mine or whatever body it is. This card utterly kicks ass. I love this card so much. The Stone Brain. This is like Jester's Cap, but for modern times. You exile it, and then you can just like take your opponent's combo right out of their deck. It's so good in like 60 card formats. I don't know if it's good anywhere else, but it was in the Pro Tour, the modern Pro Tour. Wire Surgeons, 4 black for a 6/5 with Fear. Each artifact creature card in your graveyard is Encore. Its Encore cost is equal to its mana cost. This is a great way to just bring all your stuff back. Foily Millstone. Liquid Meta Coating, which is basically just another comborific card. It turns other artifacts, it turns other permanents into artifacts till end of turn, which then you obviously want to do crazy stuff with. Key to the City is unbelievably good, and it took Wheeler to teach me the value of this card. Because, like, you discard a card and one of your creatures becomes unblockable, and then you can untap it and draw a card if you pay 2. In, like, a zombies deck or something, when you got Grimgrin or, like, another Voltron creature, making your thing unblockable and then being able to draw cards off it is unbelievably strong. The card's very good. Cyclonus the Saboteur, more than meets the eye. Fine. And then Harbin, the Vanguard Aviator. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, each creature you control will get +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. I am so mad this card is white-blue and not white-red. I get it, but I'm mad. And that was Brothers War. What a sick set. I missed this set a lot. This was really, really fun. Really, really cool set. Thank you to Anime Imports for letting me sit and open this box. And thank you all in Twitch for joining me to crack this thing. And all of y'all on YouTube for watching. And we will see you next time.